Attention please. This uploading is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles. GPITRAL. Follow us.
For better or for worse.
Go fast.
In sickness.
It's okay, girl.
And in health. To honor and treasure.
Feel that right through the glove.
The life of every living creature.
I see a small seal pup.
This is Hope for Wildlife. As man pushes further and further into the wild, nature suffers. This unique rehab center on Canada's East Coast offers injured and orphaned animals one last chance. 1,000 animals, 100 volunteers, and one woman at the center of it all. Her name is Hope. As summer draws to a close, more and more of the spring orphans at Hope for Wildlife are growing up. Today, 9 northern flickers are ready for release.
It was one whole family, and not one of them perished. They all survived, so we're very happy to get them all out here at the farm.
Flickers are the most common species of woodpecker at Hope for Wildlife. Now that they're all grown up and fully fledged, catching them won't be easy.
If you want some help, let me know.
This is one of Hope's newest volunteers. Her name is Haley. It's her first time rounding up the birds.
I put one in.
You make me work, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She's done pretty well so far, but this last one seems to be giving her the slip.
Want me to come in and try? Okay.
Luckily, Hope has expert hands.
I think that's it. We often try and release back where the animals came from, but we had no idea. We just knew it was sort of in the middle of nowhere. So we decided it would be nice to have a few flickers around the property. And there's lots of woods out behind us, so it would be a good habitat for them. Three.
It's a flock of flickers flying free.
8.
Hope figures they'll spread out and find new homes in the wilderness surrounding the rehab.
They're flying good. And the weather's supposed to be good for the next little bit. And so, yeah.
Perfect.
And there's tons of insects around. Awesome. Hello, Hope for Wildlife.
No matter the time of year, Hope's phone keeps ringing. At the other end of each call is somebody concerned about an animal in trouble.
Hi there, my name is Lisa. I'm calling from Halifax. We have a very sick baby seal. I'm not sure if it's dying or if it's just really sick.
The caller isn't the only one who spotted the seal. A local kayak club has been keeping an eye on the seal all day.
I was with a group of kids paddling by Horseshoe Island, and as we were docking up, we noticed an injured seal. So two of us went out to try and coax the seal back into the water. And when we finally got there, we coaxed him in, and he seemed to be a little injured as he was swimming off. Our camp encountered him again about half an hour later, and he was a little injured and swimming very unsurely. After we met up with him, he went back to the shore and continued to lie there.
It's a harbor seal pup. It's probably less than 2 months old and just been weaned off its mother's milk. The callers said it seemed weak and might be injured. Hope sent Nicole down to investigate.
We've received a lot of calls on this seal pup, and it's always hard to know over the phone whether the seal needs rescuing or not. But because of Vancouver Aquarium, we've gotten good at determining that once we see the baby. So the calls were that there was some blood, it looked really weak, and it had been around a long time, and there didn't seem to be any mom around at all, and it looked like it was going downhill.
Luckily, Nicole doesn't mind getting wet.
Kind of hard to really see how he's doing because he's half submerged.
She wants to see if it's really injured.
I'm looking for any puncture wounds, any sign of trauma. Over. Hi. No, don't bite me. Brian, can you show me where you saw the...
Where we saw the gash?
Yeah, where did you see the...
It was my co-counselor who first mentioned it, but I saw it about in the middle of his chest.
There we go.
Yeah, it was a little higher. Yeah, it was right around there.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of red, which could have been blood, but...
There was definitely some blood on the beach.
Yeah.
It wasn't too much, but...
Yeah, I'm not seeing any puncture wounds on the chest. There is a little tiny wound on his flipper under here. Shh. Shh. I know, buddy, I know. You don't like this.
Hope for Wildlife has gradually been building an expertise in seals. In past years, no seal had ever survived at Hope for Wildlife. Last year, Hope sought out expert advice from the Vancouver Aquarium. And this year, Hope for Wildlife has had success with seals for the very first time.
He might come back. He's got blood down his chest, but the only wound I can find is just a tiny one on his flipper.
Okay.
Bringing a seal into care isn't a decision to be taken lightly.
He's nice and strong. He's a little feisty. I mean, he does have a neck. His body itself doesn't feel, although I can feel.
Life is difficult for all young mammals in the wild, especially when they're first weaned. This seal seems a little thin, but otherwise, it's in good shape.
I don't think we need to rescue him. I think we should just... That is very good news. It means we don't have to put him through all the stress of rehab and just let him go back to where he belongs. Come on, little seal.
I'm really pleased Nicole looked at the seal, made a determination, and decided, no, this seal's perfectly fine. It's going through that stage of development where the mom has left it and it needs to figure out how to get into the water and get its own food.
I would rather go to 100 rescues and not be needed than to not go to a rescue and actually be needed. It's always getting there and making sure the animal's okay. That is what we are here for. And, I'm just glad that the community cares enough to call us when they see something that may be in trouble. And it's our job to make sure that if an animal is in trouble, that we're always there to respond.
Here's an animal that definitely needs help.
It's okay, girl. I'm gonna look after you. Oh, the tide's coming in pretty good, isn't it? Huh? It's okay. Here, easy, easy. Easy, girl. Easy, that's it. It's okay. Okay.
Doug and his neighbor Layla have been tending to a family of swans for decades. The original 2 swans escaped from a farm nearby.
Oh, you're shaking your head.
This swan, that they call Junior, is the sole survivor.
It's okay, dear.
And she's sick.
It's okay.
There's something wrong with Junior's wing.
Oh my goodness, there's nothing left to her.
That doesn't seem to be her only problem.
Normally, you would not be able to approach her unless she's on a nest. If she's nesting in the spring, you could approach her. Other than that, she would not let anybody within 8 or 10 feet of her. She would either take off or would attack. It's okay, girl. Here we go.
Something's seriously wrong, but nobody's sure exactly what.
There we go.
The swan's caretakers are hoping for help from Hope for Wildlife. But is this swan really wildlife?
She knows we're trying to.
Here we go. That's okay. It's okay.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. She's a sick bird.
After tending to the swan for so many years, it's hard for Doug and Layla to see Junior like this.
Unheard of to be able to handle her like that. Yeah. Hopefully they can help her out and find out what's going on.
It's the first swan ever at Dartmouth Vet.
I guess the swan's about 15 years old. The people that brought it in have kind of watched it since it was a baby. Normally swans are pretty, aggressive and moving, but I guess this swan seems to be down, not moving around a whole lot. Kind of been coming on slowly over the past little while, and now this morning can't use one of her wings. So we're going to just do an exam, see what we can find, and make some recommendations.
Dr. Barry's happy to help with an emergency examination.
I'm not quite sure how this is going to go. Try and get this one wrapped up into this. Go from there.